Hey, what's going on, everyone? I hope you guys are doing absolutely amazing. This is your boy Case coming at you guys again with another Tower of Fantasy video. So today's video, I actually wanted to speculate with you guys on when the first Vera banner will officially release. It's pretty self-explanatory if you've been paying attention to how the banners have been releasing. You can kind of figure it out on your own. But so please remember, guys, to just take all of this information with a grain of salt. This is just a theory. It's not factual information. Hado Studio has not made any announcements on when the first official character banner has released, but I am going to share with you guys my thoughts on when do I think that it's actually going to come out, because I think that this is pretty self-explanatory at this point. So if you've been paying attention to how the banner schedule has been working, yesterday on the 15th, we got Claudia. And if you guys are looking at this, Claudia has, well, banners in Tower of Fantasy have a 20-day duration. When new characters are introduced into Tower of Fantasy, they typically come 5 days within the active current banner in the game. So yesterday was, 5 days because Claudia came out yesterday, so this would have been 5. But they did the exact same thing with the Nemesis banner. So if they are going to be following that type of format, then we can pretty much speculate on when the next characters are going to be introduced into the game. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to bring up a calendar here for us to kind of look at so that we can speculate on when the next characters are going to be introduced. So let me see here. All right, let's bring it up. Okay, so yesterday was September 15th. So if we come over here to September 15th, we got to remember 20 days is how long banners last. So if we go 20 days into the future, that leaves us at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. That puts us at October 5th, but we have to also remember banners, new character banners are introduced within 5 days of the active current banner. So what that means is we got to backtrack 5 days. So you got to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So right here on September 30th, this is when we should be having expectations of Cobalt B being introduced into the game. Right here on September 30th, maybe on the 1st, this is when Cobalt B is going to be releasing into the game. So because we have that speculation, well, we can take that same exact resume and we can apply another 20 days and subtract 5 days to be able to anticipate when the first Vera banner will actually be introduced. So if you guys go over here, we can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Now we backtrack 5 days because, like I said, banners are introduced within 5 days of the active current banner. So that puts us at the 15th. So I'm anticipating that, if I'm not mistaken, the event in the game ends on the 16th. So I'm anticipating that the first Vera banner is going to start on the 15th or the 16th. This is when it will begin. So what that actually means is that a couple of things, in my opinion, 3 things can happen. During the first Vera banner, they can introduce Lynn. I highly anticipate that they will introduce Lynn as the first character banner of Vera. And the reason why that is because if they're following this release banners release banners alongside when they have the most relevancy and when they're introduced into the story, it only makes sense for Lynn to be the first character to be introduced, her or Ruby. But I do not think they're going to introduce Ruby, just because as I mentioned in a previous video, the amount of screen time that Ruby gets versus Lynn in the beginning of the story, Lynn pretty much takes up the entire spotlight, and Ruby has a much more significance during the second story portion of Vera. So it would make more sense to introduce Ruby later down the line. So I'm anticipating that Lynn will be the first banner. Now, that's the first thing that can happen. The second thing that can happen is they just follow the same CN rotation. They just introduce Ruby. Now, if you are going to get Ruby, one thing that I do want to encourage for you guys to think about if you are going to pull Cobalt B or not. Free-to-play players, I know you guys are not going to A6 her. I know there's a lot of people around the community saying, you have to A6 Cobalt B in order to make her viable. You're not going to A6 Cobalt B. You're just not, especially, and even more so now that Annabelle had released. So I would just highly think about maybe just getting at least one copy so that you can kind of maybe build her over time with using like your currency from rolling on the limited banners. So if you want to build her later on, you'll have that option. And then even so, I know that Cobalt B does at some point within the CN version, she did get introduced into the standard banner. We don't know if that's going to happen in global, but if it is, it just is more benefit for you if you were building a fire comp. The third thing that could happen, and this is the one thing that I do not think will happen, but it's possible, it can happen, but it's very, very unlikely. The third thing that can happen is that after the Cobalt B banner, what they do is they actually they introduce collab characters. Now, I know there's a lot of you guys who are, you know, really hopeful that the collab characters from CN will make it into the global version. I actually don't think that they're actually going to do that, because it just really does not make any sense. I think if they are going to introduce collab characters, they are going to introduce collab characters from a different series, a different video game, a different TV show, not the characters from the CN version, because it just doesn't make sense market wise to bring those characters over here when nobody in the entire US, except for like a very tiny portion of people who knows what that show is. So it doesn't seem like a very profitable business move. So those are the three things that I actually think will happen. Let me know down in the comment section what you guys actually think. Do you guys think that this speculation is kind of spot on? Do you guys think that it's a load of garbage? Let me know. Honestly, I don't care. Like I said, take it with a grain of salt. But this is when I think that the first Vera banner will be officially releasing into Tower of Fantasy. So as always, guys, spam up that comment section with your thoughts. I will catch you guys in the next video. Make sure you rate, like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you. Peace.